Are you ready to come face to face with a velociraptor? Then it's time to enter evolution.
Hey guys, hope you're all doing well. Now for today's video, I want to talk about one of the most obscure Jurassic Park attractions in existence. Project Evilution was an incredibly unique event commissioned by Universal Studios for their Orlando theme park in 2002. After the release of Jurassic Park 3, the company designed a massive JP event for the infamous Halloween Horror Nights. And curiously, the Jurassic Park event came with a fully fleshed out story that turned the entire franchise into a nightmarish horror show that went far beyond anything we would ever see in the movies. If you've been keeping up with my videos for a while now, you'll know that during multiple points of production for the Jurassic Park series, they were trying to go in a more science fiction based direction than what went down in the first two sequels. Lost World dedicated itself to being solely about a dinosaur preserve in a paleontological sense and dropped all of the genetic engineering and hermaphroditic attributes of InGen's clones in its narrative. And even though there were multiple attempts to bring something a bit different to JP3, it eventually wound up as a film about dinosaurs chasing plane survivors on an island. Well, interestingly, one of the abandoned titles for JP3 would actually make its way into this Halloween horror show. The scare zone for Jurassic Park's Orlando resort would become known as JP Extinction, the home of a truly bizarre and insane story that called itself Project Evilution. The plot of the horror show was simple but kinda disturbing. The tagline for the experience read, "The power is out, the gates are down, packs of carnivorous dinosaurs are loose in the park, and there's something very strange and very deadly stalking you as well." When you'd enter the horror show, you'd get introduced to an InGen scientist by the name of Dr. Burton, a man who was responsible for wild and terrible experiments that broke out. The abominations that he'd created were twisted monsters that screamed in agonizing pain while they walked out amongst the park guests. And yes, they were dinosaur-human hybrids.
Packs of velociraptors stalk their unsuspecting prey, humans. Mutant half-men, half-dinosaurs are the hideous victims of a scientific experiment gone terribly wrong. Buried in the middle of this prehistoric predator's playground is evolution, an outdoor haunted maze.
One particular individual was known as the Dilopho Man, who, as his name suggests, was a cross between a human being and a spitting Dilophosaurus. Another went by the tongue-in-cheek name of Pterodactyl, which doesn't really need any explaining. There was also something called the Dino Man, but little is really known about what he happened to be cloned from. Wild quilled velociraptors from JP3 would stalk about the laboratory, and Dr. Burton would pop out at the guests to warn them that the experiments had just escaped. A pre-existing exhibit known as the Triceratops Discovery Trail would get overrun by the hybrids, and you'd actually get to see them attack the peaceful herbivore during a disturbing strobe light show. While you walk about the maze, it becomes apparent that the hybrids were rising up against their creator in a very Island of Dr. Moreau sort of way. And when you get to a specific section of Project Evilution, it would be revealed that they'd found Dr. Burton alone and used the opportunity to enact their revenge by hanging the InGen scientist. You'd also get to see that the monsters had successfully killed the Triceratops and strung its decapitated head up with ropes and chains for good measure.
We wanted to show the terror and the horror of some of these half-dino, half-human creatures that Dr. Burton created in his genetics labs. So we got a prop from the movie Lost World, which we had in our warehouses here at Universal Studios, and we made it look as though it was ripped right out of the animal, as though it got torn right out, spinal cord and all.
Now, I know this whole thing sounds absolutely bonkers, it is, and pretty different to anything that went down in JP before. But in 2002, this would actually be kind of incorrect to say, because truth be told, Jurassic Park Project Evilution was something that wasn't actually that unique to the franchise at the time of this horror show. At the end of one of the Jurassic Park 3 adventure books for kids, somebody actually asks Dr. Alan Grant what he thinks about the rumors of InGen creating dinosaur-human hybrids, which is given no comment by the paleontologist. And of course, just a year or so after this, John Sayles would write his infamous Jurassic Park 4 film script that featured Deinonychus soldiers that were spliced with the DNA of a mad baron from Germany.
What? What the f?
After the release of JP3, things were getting really weird for Jurassic Park. And this Halloween Horror Show is a great example of that. But I'm sure you're wondering, why the sudden shift in these ideas? Well, you have to understand that when the first two sequels to Jurassic Park came out, both of them got a lot of mixed reception, and in some instances online, people were screaming at Steven Spielberg telling him that he ruined the franchise when he made The Lost World. I don't know what they were smoking, but I don't want any of it. So the reaction to that outrage was to go in a wholly different direction from what had been done before, and you can't really blame them for trying to appease people. That being said, don't expect to see dino-human hybrids in Jurassic World 3 like ever, because Colin Trevorrow himself has said that he not only doesn't like the idea, but he thinks that once you do that, it would feel like a wholly different franchise. This whole wild Dr. Burton genetic abomination story was something that you could only see in Jurassic Park during the lull in time between JP3 and the fourth film, and in some material, including this officially released horror show that was open to the public, dinosaur-human hybrids were being seen right alongside dinosaurs from the first three movies. Personally, I think a movie based on this stuff would have been incredibly bad for the series' reputation. But wow, I would have loved to have seen this Halloween Horror Show in 2002. This is something special and unique that has never been replicated in the series since its initial release. Don't get it twisted, I never want to see human dino hybrids as an official part of the Jurassic canon. But as a spooky what if that I could tour at Universal Studios, you gotta be kidding me, this event was probably awesome. That being said, I did intentionally leave out a specific hybrid that was designed for this show. A mysterious creature that was a part of Project Evilution that I actually think is extremely unique and interesting. It's definitely a monster and not something that we would ever get to see anywhere else. And it's got a history that I'm dying to share with you guys in the very near future. But I thought I'd save all that stuff for a wholly different video. So now that I'm done showing you all this, what do you guys think of JP Extinction? This was an officially released dino-human hybrid story that people toured and visited at Universal Studios. It was the craziest the franchise ever got, and something that we will never see ever again. Did any of you attend the Halloween Horror Show during that time? And if so, what did you think? Whatever your own thoughts and opinions happen to be, I'd love to hear them in the comments down below. Now before I go, I'd like to thank all of my game wardens, as well as all of my InGen executives. I'd also like to thank all of my park workers and InGen hunters as well. It really means the world to me that all of you continue to watch my videos, and I never want any of you to forget that. Now, I'd like to thank all of you for watching today's video, and hope you all enjoyed the content. If you feel like I deserve it, I'd appreciate the like, and hope that you'll consider subscribing if you're interested in hearing from me again. See you all in the next video, guys, and as always, take it easy.